Hey everyone, I'm back. And as you can see, they have not yet put up any Return to Ravnica block constructed events. So, what I'm going to do today is I actually still need cards for the events anyway. So I figured I'd play in a release queue. The release queue is a really good value right now. They've always been good value. It's just a 6-pack sealed event that you pay 24 ticks to enter. And I believe it pays out based on like a daily prize payout is for 4-0 it's 13 packs, and for 3-1 it's 8 packs, and 2-2, which is not the goal. You get 3 packs, but it's good just because the 13 and the 8 is 2 packs greater than usual. Usually you only get 11 or 6. So, and also I just like the sealed event very much, so I figured I'd do one of these, and we'll see how it goes. I'll unpause it when we get up to 16 people. Okay, 16 people just joined the queue, so another reason I'm doing sealed instead of draft is because I know everyone and their mother is going to do a draft. I'm actually interested in PTQing this format. So for rares, I have a Dreadbore and a Detention Sphere for removal. Deathrite Shaman, which is actually a very good card in my estimation. It's I heard it described, I can't remember where I heard this described, but I heard it described as just Grim Lavamancer in black. It's pretty accurate. Like, there's a lot of instances and sorceries that get played just to produce tokens in creature decks even. So you can just eventually burn them out with this creature. Like, you never get to add mana, but whatever. The life gain and the kill is good enough. Cryptborn Horror is kind of meh. Conjured Currency is unplayable, and Chromatic Lantern is fine. So I guess we'll see what I have. I want to be either white, blue, or red, black right now. I don't even know if I want to play Cryptborn Horror if I'm red, black. Oops. So what I like to do is I like to take out all the unplayables. Just put them in the deck for right now. Avenging Arrow is playable. Oh wow, my white cards are pretty good. I have an Arrestor, 2 Justicars, which is insane, because it detains 2 creatures your opponent control, so it's a very good tempo swing. 2 Tristani's Judgment, populate removal. Nightly Vow is okay. I actually like this card more and more. It gives you 4 power for 5 mana. Eyes in the Skies I like a lot. Take out the Chronic Flooding. I don't actually like Stealer Secrets in this format. You can get cute, like especially in sealed. In draft it's okay, but you can get cute with your detain creatures to get in for a card, but usually you'll just run into a bunch of walls that are in this format. It's pretty miserable. Cremate, Train Trap Vermin. I actually like this card better than Grim Rustabout in aggro decks because you can at least block with it after it's 2-2. People keep telling me this card is good. I've never played with it. I'm not sure if it's good or not. Double Terrasworm? I don't like that card. It costs way too much mana. I'm not sure if it's good or not. Like, worth it. 2 Racketeer, 2 Annihilating Fires, wow. Explosive Impact. I don't think I can make Pyro Convergence work. Urban Burgeoning's unplayable. Aerial Predation is fine and sealed. There's a lot of good flyers. Okay, now let's look at the gold cards. The Moment of Truth. So we have, in green-white, we have Call of the Conclave, Coursers, and that's it. I guess a Deathrite Shaman. And my green cards are not really conducive to that, I guess. Like, my white cards are good. I have a couple populate cards in Tristani's Judgment, but I'm only making 2 types of tokens, or 2 tokens. And so I'm probably not going to be playing green-white, unless I can fit blue into it. So my blue-white cards are actually just a bunch of combat tricks. 3 Dramatic Rescue, which is a fine card, but a card I would not play more than 2 of at the most. Azorius Charm's okay. Fall the Gavel's okay. And my blue-white cards are kind of mediocre. My blue-white-red cards are kind of good. I really like Nivix Guild Mage and Electromancer, and is it Static Caster is one of the better cards. And my red cards are fine. I have 2 Annihilating Fires and Explosive Impact. So I could either build like blue-red white or maybe black or green white. I want to say green white red, but I don't really have fixing. I only have a Selesnya Guild Gate and an Orzhov Guild or sorry, Golgari Guild Gate. I don't want to play these Shred Freaks or any deck that would involve Shred Freak because I just don't think they're very good in sealed. Like if you can get a bunch of them in draft, not Shred Freak, just any like aggressive Rakdos deck, you can probably kill people with it. But it's much harder in sealed since everyone's deck is. Oh, I thought this was a spawn of Rixmati. I actually like Rage Mod a bunch. Yeah, I still don't think my red black cards are any good though. Like my black is pretty mediocre. I have a Stab Wound and a bunch of Dread Revelers for good cards. Jailbreaker's okay. Not really a beatdown card. So let's see. Take out these cards. Let's build a blue-red-white deck. Play the Lantern. Play the Charm, Detention Sphere. Frostburn Weird is one of the better cards, I think. It's a very, very good card. I actually really like Trader's Instinct as well, but I don't know if it's making the first cut. Bluster Squall is one of my favorites. Tower Drake's okay. Runewing, Inspiration. I actually have a lot of good white-blue cards. Probably don't need all of this. I'm just putting out all the playables right now. Let's see. A lot of 6-drops. So this blue, red, white looks to be more like Sky's deck, I guess. Just a card getting in there for defensive purposes mostly, not to put in my ground creatures. Hover Barrier instead of Stealer of Secrets because I think it'll just do more for my plan. If I can stall the game on the ground and then block with attack with Tower Drakes, Rune Wings, and Bird Tokens. I actually like Tenement Crasher a bunch. And the Chromatic Lantern should smooth out my mana. If I wanted to, I could play Dreadbore and just play the Golgari Guildgate and a Chromatic Lantern for it. Wait, that's not as good as I thought it was. Yeah, I'm actually just not going to play Dreadbore. There's no reason to splash black, I think, for just Terminate. Unless they have a Planeswalker, in which case I'll probably ward it in. Actually like Splatterthug and Racketeer as well, but I don't think there's really room for them in this deck. I'd rather have Electromancer to get Inspiration, Tristani's Judgment, and Explosive Impact down, and also Eyes of the Sky. I actually like Bluster Squall quite a bit. I'm closer to cutting Azorius Charm than I am Bluster Squall. Though I haven't actually played with Azorius Charm yet, it could be insane. It just looks kind of okay on all ends. Like the lifelink by far seems the best mode. Okay, so if I had to cut it, I'm at 24 cards right now, so I want to cut one of them. And it's probably going to be, probably not a creature since I don't have very many of those. Might just be one of these two, I think. Either Azorius Charm or Bluster Squall. And if I want to try Azorius Charm, then I'm going to cut Bluster Squall. I mean, I could cut Inspiration, but I really like having an Inspiration if I have Nivix Guild Mage in my deck. Because eventually you can just grind out games by copying an Inspiration. Guess that's a first draft. I'm going to keep making more decks because in Sealed, how I build decks, I don't just stop at one and say that's the best one. I'm going to keep looking at what else I have. Things I didn't consider were cancels, because even though I'm more slow, I think Annihilating Fire is just better than cancel. Like, Annihilating Fire should be able to cover things that cancel can't, even though it's double red and it's a little more awkward. It should be fine, because cancel's more situational. Obviously, removal's better than a counterspell. I didn't put in the Swift Justices because I don't have very many creatures that I want to be like tricking them with. The only ground creatures I have that I can reasonably block with are Electromancer and Arrestor. And like the +1/+0 Swift Justice isn't going to make much of a difference on Hover Barrier. So I'm just getting in with my small mana 2/2s, and I don't think Swift Justice is going to be that good. Avenging Arrow is not the worst, but since I already have 2 Annihilating Fires and a Detention Sphere, and 2 Judgments and an Impact, I have a bunch of removal in this deck. I don't need a situational removal I have to keep mana open for. Even though it wouldn't be the worst, since I have a Guild Mage, Inspiration, and Eyes in the Skies in this deck. So I'm gonna go ahead and... how do I want to play this one? I have no duels for this color combination. So I think I want to go... these are my blue-white cards. Lantern should make this mana easier. I'm gonna play Lantern in every deck I play. Let's see. Need a lot of red, or a lot of white, some red, and I can probably live off just 1 blue for a while. So I probably want 6 plains, 5 islands. You know, 6, 6, 5, I think that's fine. I think Moto is correct. I want the blue early for my blue-white cards and my blue-red cards. And Frostfire and Weird having extra blue mana is not the worst. Annihilating Fire will be a little awkward with only 5 mountains, but Chromatic Lantern gives me an extra, infinite sources of color. So we're going to save this deck and try a new one. Default folder. Blue-red, white, sealed October 15th. Okay. Oh, I should have saved the pool, so I could just load the pool up. Here, give me a second. Okay, I think this is the green-white-blue deck I'd play, though obviously it's not very good. Like, the curve's kind of wonky. Brush Strider, excuse me, doesn't really fit into the plan of the deck, and the plan's kind of weird. I just kind of hope to get Centaur's Herald and Call of the Conclave pretty early, then populate them eventually with Tristani's Judgment, and yeah, that's about it. Like, stall with tokens. Like, 3/3s are very big in this format, so if you get an early Call of the Conclave or Centaur's Herald, you can hold off their forces while your Tower Drake, Runewing, Eyes in the Skies are battling in, and eventually try to populate up. But I don't think I'll ever get to cast Horncaller's Chant in this deck. And I actually do like a main deck Sundering Growth to kill like Arrest, Stabbing Wound, any of the key runes. And it's pretty good if you can get another creature out of it. So I don't think this deck is what I want to be playing, even though it's like not the worst. It would be good to side in against some of the slower decks that my other deck might not be good against. But I think... yeah, I don't think I want to be playing this deck. It looks too slow and unwieldy. I'm still gonna save it. Let's see, green, white, blue. 10-15. The other deck I'd consider would be black, red, green, just to play my Annihilating Fires. I don't think that's gonna be any good though, because my black, green card, red cards are all pretty aggressive. Rage Mutt, Dreadbore. Actually, I kind of like my gold cards for those colors a lot, actually. Lantern, Guildgate, Brush Strider, Herald, Vine. Probably play the Racketeer and a Splatter Thug. I'd definitely play Trader's Instinct. This card wins a lot of games, just because a lot of people don't play around it properly or can't afford to. Dread Revelers are very good, as is Stab Wound. This is okay. This deck doesn't actually look half bad. I've got a bunch of creatures that are pretty aggressive. A bunch of removal, Stab Wound, Augur Spree, Annihilating Fire. Trader's Instinct isn't really removal, but whatever. I'm just kind of missing creatures that are large enough to battle with. Like, here's a Tenement Crasher. And I don't know how good Perilous Shadows is. It doesn't seem better than... I actually like Dynacharge with like Survey, or what's it called? Not Survey the Orchid, Goblin Rally? Yeah, that's a cute combo that's pretty good. Actually, this deck doesn't seem half bad. I don't think it's better than the blue-red-white one. because flyers are very good and limited, and I'd rather play the adjusted cards because they are very, like, just putting 2 creatures out of combat for a turn cycle is a very strong ability in limited. And this deck kind of fails in the face of a Doorkeeper. You have to remove a wall, 0/4 wall, and that doesn't feel very good. This deck's not the worst though. Like, I would consider sideboarding it in. Jund, I guess? Sure. But I think I'm just gonna submit the first one I saw, the blue, red, white one. Huh. I hope I saved it, because that would suck if I didn't. It looks like it was saving them as folders. Because it says blue, red, white, sealed 10, 15. Oh, I get it. Okay, when I hit the slash in the name, like 10/15 for October 15th, the slash was the deck name, or that's what separated the directory. So I ended up making a folder called blue, red, white, sealed 10, and then the slash told me what the deck name was. So just confusing moto nonsense. But yeah, I think I'm submitting this one. Let me double check that I still like this deck. The only thing I don't like about this deck is the mana. I'm not a big fan of it. Though I think Staticaster and the 2 Justicars are better than anything the Jund deck has to offer in its aggression. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and submit this one. And I'll see you for round 1.